Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everyone. Have you ever imagined eating a chicken nugget that was never raised on a farm or produced through animal slaughter? It may sound like science fiction, but this technology already exists today. Our presentation will explore this innovation known as cultured meat from scientific, ethical, and Islamic perspective. Let's begin by understanding what cultured meat actually is. Cultured meat, also called cultivated or cell-based meat, is a real animal meat produced by growing animal cells directly. Scientists take a small, painless sample of stem cells from an animal, then grow those cells inside a bioreactor until they multiply into muscles and fat tissue. The same meat you would get from a farm animal, just grown outside the animal's body. This has moved from a lab experiment to a regulated reality. Like Singapore was the first country to approve cultivated meat in 2020. And in 2023, the US FDA and USDA approved outside food and good meat to sell cultivated chicken. Since then, countries across Asia, Middle East, and Europe have joined the conversation, some embracing it, others banning it. So in this video, we will cover why cultured meat matters today, how it is viewed from an Islamic perspective, the ethical debates around it, and what it all means going forward.
Now I will explain how culture meat is produced. This infographic shows the 5 main steps in producing culture meat. First, cell extraction. Scientists take a small sample of muscle or stem cells from a living animal through a harmless biopsy. Only a tiny sample is needed, so the animal does not need to be slaughtered. Second, the cells are placed in a growth medium. This medium contains nutrients such as amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and growth factors that help the cells grow and stay healthy. Third, the cells go into a bioreactor, where they multiply by dividing millions of times. This allows scientists to produce a large number of cells from the original sample. Next is scaffold formation. The cells attach to an adipose scaffold, which provides support and helps them develop into the muscle tissue with a texture similar to conventional meat. Finally, the tissue is harvested once it has matured. It can then be processed into food products such as burgers, nuggets, or steaks. Overall, this process produces real meat using animal cells while greatly reducing the need for animal slaughter. Next, let's compare between conventional meat, culture meat, and plant-based meat. Conventional meat comes from animals that are raised and slaughtered. It has a natural taste and high protein content, but it also has the highest environmental impact because it requires large amounts of land, water, and feed. Culture meat is produced from animal cells in a laboratory. Since it is made from real animal cells, it has a protein content and taste that are very similar to conventional meat. It is also requires much less land and water, and also it reduces the need for animal slaughter. Plant-based meat is made entirely from plant ingredients such as soy, peas, or wheat. It does not involve animals at all, making it the most environmentally friendly option. However, its taste and texture are different from real meat. So, the culture meat combines the nutritional benefits of conventional meat with a lower environmental impact, making it a promising alternative for the future.
With a rapidly increased global population, meat consumption is expected to rise drastically. Traditional livestock farming faces serious challenges, including environmental impact and food security. Today, we explore culture meat, a promising innovation, the way we produce and consume. Okay, what culture is important? Firstly, it addresses how we eat and develop nutrition base. Secondly, reduce environmental damage caused by livestock farming. And next, minimize safety risk in traditional meat. And lastly, advance in cell cultivation technology make lab-grown meat feasible. Okay, moving on to the benefit of culture meat in terms of nutritional customization. The core medium used in culture meat can be tailored to improve the nutritional profile, for example, modify fat content and adding beneficial nutrients for healthier meat. And next, in benefit in terms of food safety, culture meat provides safe option by producing meat in controlled environments, reducing contamination and risk of foodborne disease. Okay. Next, in terms of sustainability, by requiring less land, significantly cutting greenhouse gas emission, and use less water, culture may offer an environmentally sustainable alternative to the traditional animal farming. Okay, lastly, benefit in food security. Culture meat can be produced indoor, unaffected by climates or natural disaster, helping reduce global food insecurity. Okay, next challenges of culture meat. First challenge is high production cost. Culture meat remains more expensive than conventional meat. Cost reduction depends on R&D and process improvement. These costs require continual research and improvement in technology and scaling method. Okay, moreover, is challenge in cell source complexity. Adequate stable relative stem cell with consistent differentiation ability is crucial and challenge. This meat tissue remains a significant scientific hurdle. Okay, then is challenge in consumer acceptance. Public skepticism regarding unnaturalness and safety of culture meat demands transparent education and trustworthy. Moreover, is challenge in regulation. Culture may require an appropriate regulatory framework to ensure its safety and quality. If a country various stage development this regulation, this can affect the speed of its global commercialization. For example, in Muslim, we need to know the halal status of culture meat.
From the Islamic perspective, the food must always be halal and tayyiban, which means lawful and also good. In the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah teaches a Muslim that food must not only be halal, but also be wholesome and also beneficial. It reminds us that consuming doubtful or harmful food can lead us away from the right path. Leave what makes you doubt for what does not make you doubt. This hadith mentions us to avoiding any doubtful matters, especially in food. If something is uncertain, Muslims are encouraged to choose what is clearly safe and also halal for us. Together, the Quran and also hadith guide us to be a responsible Muslim in our food choices. Scholars today highlight that culture meat must be evaluated carefully based on these principles. Okay, the next one is halal requirement. First, the cell must come from the halal meat and halal animals that are properly slaughtered according to Islamic law. The second one is the growth medium must not contain any haram substance like fetal bovine serum or blood or maybe impure substance. Instead, halal certified alternatives should be used. The last one is the production process must also follow the hygiene, safety, and also the halal certification standards. These requirements ensure that culture meat is not only innovative but also acceptable for Muslim consumer. Okay, the last one we discussed about the debate and also discussion among the scholar and also halal authorities like Jakim. Okay, to conclude, culture meat may be halal if it aligns all the requirements, but its status depends on the fatwa and also official halal certification. Islam shows a flexibility towards new food technologies, yet it always protects the principle of halal and tayyiban. Therefore, Muslim can only consume culture meat once it's clearly certified halal.
Moving on to the ethical landscape, cultured meat completely reshapes our relationship with food production across four critical pillars. First, let's look at animal welfare. Cultured meat represents a massive moral shift by eliminating intensive factory farming and slaughterhouse practices because it relies on a harmless cell biopsy. Animal suffering is drastically reduced. However, an ethical bottleneck remains. The industry must completely transition away from historical components like fetal bovine serum (FBS) toward 100% plant-based growth mediums to be truly cruelty-free. Second is environmental sustainability. Ethically, we have a global duty to protect our planet. Culture meat aligns with this by drastically reducing greenhouse gas emissions, land allocation, and freshwater consumption compared to traditional livestock. Yet, we must acknowledge a critical challenge. Industrial bioreactors require immense energy. To maintain a truly low carbon footprint, these production facilities must be powered by renewable energy sources. Third, from a public health standpoint, we have food safety. Culturing meat in sterile, controlled laboratory environments offers a massive ethical advantage. It completely eliminates the risk of zoonotic outbreaks such as bird flu and eradicates the need for heavy livestock antibiotics, which directly combats the rising global threat of antibiotic resistance. Finally, we must weigh the social impacts. Moving meat production into high-tech labs poses a severe economic threat to traditional farmers and rural agricultural communities. If massive biotechnology conglomerates monopolize the global food supply, it could deepen economic inequality between nations. In conclusion, while cultured meat offers profound ethical solutions for animal rights and public health, its ultimate success depends on ensuring a fair, sustainable, and transparent transition for global society. Thank you, and I will now pass the floor to the next member.
In conclusion, culture meat is the innovative technology that has the potential to transform the future of the food. It offers many benefits such as improving food security, protecting the environment, and reducing the animal slaughter. However, there are still challenges, including the high production costs, consumer acceptance, and the need for the clear regulation. From Islamic perspective, culture meat can only be accepted if it fully complies with the halal principle. With continued research and responsible development, culture meat may become a sustainable and ethical food option for the future generation. That's all from us. Thank you.